Good morning, students. We welcoming in our online lecture MVM College of Commerce, Management and IT, Rajkot, Saurashtra University. Lecture number 6. BCom SEM 4 students. Subject Corporate Accounting 2. Unit number 3. Voluntary liquidation of company. In this unit, we cover these points: introduction and meaning, modes of winding up, legal guideline of Companies Act 2013, disbursement of liquidator, liquidator's final statement of account, allocation of capital deficiency, and practical question. All of you know these points we cover regularly in our lecture. Disbursement of liquidator, we always follow these 7 points. Point number 1, first you pay fully secure creditors and workers due. Second, liquidation expenses and liquidators remunerations. Third, preferential creditors. 4, creditors having floating charge. Fifth, unsecured creditors. 6, preference shareholders. And 7, equity shareholder. In this chapter, there are 3 main methods. Method number 1, simple question. We were understood our lecture number 2, 3. It's a simple question. Then second method, when more than one equity share was given. When more than one equity share was given, then we are check it. The value of shares are equal or not. If the value of equity shares are equal, then you calculate the 5 steps. We were study in our 2 previous lecture. Today's lecture number 6, and it's the last method. Method number 3, when the given 2 or more equity shares and the price of equity shares are different. It means the price is not same. When the price is not same, then also we are calculate our steps, 5 to 6 steps. It's a similar to 5 to 6 steps. Okay. So in this method, first of all we clear the method number 2 or 3. It's very important method in the view of examinations. In the Saurashtra University examinations, method number 2 and method number 3, it's very important. Okay. So this is very important method. Now today we calculate our third method. First of all, we clear about the liquidator's final statement of account. For this statement, all of you know receipts and rupees, payments and rupees. In the receipt side, cash and bank balance, surplus from secure creditors, assets realized, calls on partly paid up shares, and total. It's a receipt side. And in the payment side, secured creditors plus dues of workers, liquidation expenses and liquidator remunerations, preferential creditors, debenture plus outstanding interest on debenture plus additional interest, unsecured creditors, preference shareholder plus outstanding if any, and equity shareholders. Question number 8. We are taking this question from illustration number 11, page number 241. Surbi Limited. Just you check it, this question. Surbi Limited went into voluntary liquidation on 31st March 2017. Balance sheet on that date was under, on asset side, land and building 3 lakh, plant and machinery 2,30,000, investment 70,000, stock 30,000, debtors 50,000, cash on hand 10,000, profit and loss account 1,10,000. It's a fictitious assets. In the liability side, 2,000, 15% preferences, 100 rupees each, 2 lakh. A equity shares 1,000 A equity share 100 rupees each, fully paid up, 1 lakh. 2,000 B equity shares 100 rupees each, 50 paid up. And C equity shares 100 rupees each, 3,000 shares, 100 rupees each, 40 paid up. This one is paid up. So this question is related to method number 2, because in this question the price of shares, equity shares value 100, 100 and 100. It means the price will be same, and when the price will be same, then it's related to method number 2. Okay, but today we calculate our third method. So this question is related to method number 2. I explain this question, and then after we start method number 3, because it's a different question. C equity share 100 rupees each, 40 paid up, less calls in arrears 10,000. Then 15% debentures 2 lakh. Then outstanding interest on debenture 15,000. Provident fund 15,000. Just you check it the question. Outstanding salary of 3 clerk for 3 months 4500, and outstanding income tax is 2010-11, 2000 and 2009-10 3500. All of you know in the preferential creditors last 12 months outstanding we are covered in the preferential, and before last 12 months it's unsecured creditors. So here 10-11, 2010-11's outstanding is 2000, we are calculating the preferential creditors, and 2009-10's related to 3500, it's unsecured creditors. Then creditors 35,000, and then bills payable 15,000. Okay, total 8 lakh. In the paragraph, assets were realized: land and building 2,50,000, plant and machinery 1,35,000, investment 50,000, stock 25,000, debtors 40,000. The expenses of liquidation amounted to 5,000. Liquidator's remunerations is 4% on assets realized by him, and 2% of the payments to the unsecured creditors. Number 3, amount of calls in arrears on B equity shares. And number 4, all payments were made on 30th June 2017. Prepare liquidator's final statement of receipts and payment. And this question we are taking in the Gujarat University TY April 1997, and also South Gujarat University in SY March 2001. Okay, so first of all we clear about the main question. In these questions, this is related to method number 2. Is it clear? This question is method number 2 because all the questions is 100 rupees each, but the different price will be paid up. A equity shares 100 rupees each, B equity share 100 rupees each, and C equity shares also 100 rupees each, and paid up value 100, 50 and 40. Done? So this is the method number 2. Now in this question, first of all we calculate working note 1, preferential creditors. In the calculation of working note 1 is preferential creditors. First of all, we check provident fund. Provident fund, it's a totally preferential creditors as per the given in the liability side 15,000. So it is a preferential creditors. Second one is outstanding income tax. In the outstanding income tax, only for last 12 months is preferential. So here 2000 is the preferential. Then outstanding salary of 3 clerk. In the outstanding salary of 3 clerks was given 4500. Total amount in the preferential creditors we got 4500 divided by 3. So one's answer is 1500 for 3 months. So it is a less amount for our rule. All of you know the rule: actual salary, 4-month salary, and 20,000. There are the 3 different figures, and whichever is the less, we including in the preferential creditors. Now the total of these 3 figures, 21,500. It's a preferential creditors, 21,500. Done. Now the next working note is 2. Working note 2 is an unsecured creditor. In the unsecured creditors, the number 1 is creditors. As per the given in the liability side, 35,000. It's a totally unsecured creditors. Plus bills payable is also unsecured creditors, 15,000. And third one is outstanding income tax, 3500. 2009-10's income tax is outstanding because last 12 months limit. So total is 53,500. 53,500 is unsecured creditors. Working note 2. Then working note 3. Liquidators remuneration. Here on assets realized 4%, and the total amount of assets realized is 5 lakh. So 5 lakh into 4% is equal to 20,000. It's a first figure of liquidators remunerations as per the given in instruction number 2. Just you check it. Liquidators remunerations is 4% on assets realized by him and 2% on unsecured creditors. Here 2% on unsecured creditors. So we are paid also preferential creditors also. So we calculate working note 1 preferential creditors. Okay, compulsory. It's a compulsory when the sentence was given 2% on unsecured creditors and not information given about the preferential creditors, then we paid preferential creditors also. So we paid 21,500 for preferential creditors and 53,500 for unsecured creditors. It's working note 1 and it's working note 2. So total amount is 75,000. And we calculate 2% on 75,000. Your answer is 1500. So you pay total remunerations 21,500. It's working note 3. One by one, I think perfectly clear about the working note 1, 2 and 3. It's a working note 1, preferential creditors. Working note 2, unsecured creditors, because when you calculate the liquidator remunerations, this figure is required. So you are easily calculate working note 3 is liquidators remunerations. After that, working note 3, working note 4 is total receipts. Total receipts. In the total receipts, first of all, we write cash balance as per the given in the question. 10,000. Then land and building 2,50,000. Then plant and machinery 1,35,000. Then investment 50,000. Then stock 25,000. Then debtors 40,000. Now the total of this value is 5,10,000. It's called for total receipt. Total receipt is 5,10,000. It's a important working note, all of you know, because when the total receipts you find and then total liability, then you get the capital deficiency. Method number 2 and method number 3 is required for capital deficiency compulsory. So total receipts is 5,10,000. After that, working note 5, it's total liability. In the total liabilities, first of all, we write here our 7 steps. Fully secured plus workers due. In this question, no any information about the fully secured and workers due. So step 1 dash. In the second point, liquidation expenses. All of you know liquidation expenses was given 5,000 in the point number 2 in the adjustment. And liquidator remunerations. Working note 3. Also you write here bracket in the working note 3. We calculate working note 3 for remunerations 21,500. Clear? Now, next, third point is preferential creditor, and we also is calculation of this working note 1, 21,500. Then point number 4, debenture. We write in the bracket inner column 2 lakh plus outstanding interest as per the given in the question, 15,000 plus additional interest. In this question, the point number 4, all payments were made on 30th June and the liquidation on the date of 31st March. So 31st March to 30th June means 3 months. So we pay here 3 months extra interest. You calculate on the debentures, 2 lakh into 15% into 3 by 12. Your answer is 7500. So the total amount we paid in the preferential creditors, 2,22,500. So you pay debenture plus outstanding interest plus additional interest, total 2,22,500. It's your point number 4. Clear that? Then point number 5. Unsecured creditors. You calculate unsecured creditors in working note 2, 53500. બ્રેકેટમાં તમે લખી શકો છો વર્કિંગ નોટ 2. ઇટ્સ યોર કેલ્ક્યુલેશન્સ. આગળની વર્કિંગ નોટ all the importance, so you write here. Then number 6, preference shareholder. In the preference shareholder, as per the given in the question, 2 lakh directly, so no any other extra dividend outstanding. And number 7, here you write there are the 3 types of equity shares. A equity shares, B equity shares and C equity shares. Okay, so here we write A equity shares like that, 1 lakh. B equity shares 1 lakh as per the given in the liability, and C equity shares 1,20,000 and 10,000 calls in arrears. And here also instructions given on the point number 3, amount of calls in arrears on C equity shares. So calls in arrears 10,000 आपने receive થઈ જશે. So here we write C equity share 1,20,000 and 10,000 આપણે એડ કરવાના થશે on the receipt side. So our receipt is 5,20,000. 5,10,000 plus calls in arrears on C shares, 5,20,000. Just you check it, the figure working note 4, 520. Okay, and then after you should the total of this value. So total of working note 5. After that you calculate the working note 6, capital deficiency. In the capital deficiency, the formula is total liability minus total receipts. Just you check it, your capital deficiency's answer is 3,24,000. 3,24,000, it's your capital deficiency. Total receipts 5,20,000. And total liability 8,00,000 44,000. So here 8,44,000 minus 5,20,000, you get capital deficiency 3,24,000. It's working note 6, capital deficiency. After that 3,24,000 capital deficiency, then working note 7, or share of capital deficiency 3,24,000 divide by A equity share is 1,000 plus B equity share 2,000 plus C equity share 3,000. So 3,24,000, then divide by 6,000. 30 will be cut. Then 6 5s are 30 and 6 4s are 24. So your capital deficiency is 54 rupees per share capital deficiency. It's a per share capital deficiency, 54 rupees. Done? Per share of capital deficiency. After that, you find out the call up and paid up value, working note 8. Call up या paid up. A equity shares 100 rupees paid up, then minus 54. 100 rupees is fully paid up, so minus 54, you get the answer is 46, and plus answer, it means paid. B equity share is 50 rupees paid up, so 50 minus 54, you get the minus 4 column. Plus means paid up, minus means column. And in the C equity share is 40 rupees minus 54. So 40 minus 54, so minus 14 column. This is the final answer. 46 paid, minus 4 means 4 rupees column, and minus 14 means 14 rupees column. It's a method number 2 questions, and it is the last question of method number 2. Okay, I have explained 3 questions in the previous 2 lectures for method number 2 also. So it is the last question of method number 2 when the price will be same. And here the total 8 working notes are required, because first 3 working notes is required. So you find the call up and paid up. After you calculations these all the things, you should prepare liquidator's final statement of receipts and payments. Next, liquidator's final statement of receipts and payments, it's a compulsory. Liquidator's final statement of receipts and payments. In the liquidator's final statement of receipts and payment, first you write cash. here 10,000 as per the given in the asset side. Then assets realized, you should here write in the inner column land 2,50,000, plant 1,35,000, investment 50,000, stock 25,000, debtors 40,000, and the total 5 lakh. Okay, so here you write outer column the total figure, no any surplus from secured creditors, so here the dash, and assets realized you write here 5 lakh. Next, calls on partly paid up shares. So here the calls, first of all, calls in arrears also you write here, calls in arrears 10,000 on C equity shares, and calls on partly paid shares you get it in the working note 8, B equity share 4 rupees into 2,000 shares, so 8,000, and C equity shares 14 rupees on 3,000 shares, so 42,000. Cash and bank balance 10,000 as per the given on the lab asset side. Surplus from secured creditors nil. Assets realized total 5 lakh. Calls in arrears 10,000, and call from B shares and C shares as per the working note 8, 4 and 14. Multiply the number of shares, B 2,000 shares, C 3,000 shares. So you get the total receipt on side 5,70,000. It is your final answer of this side. Now you calculate on the outstanding payment one by one step. First step, secured creditors and workers due. In these questions, no any information, so dash. Then liquidation expenses is 5,000, and liquidators remunerations 21,500 from working note 3. So you write in the bracket working note 3 also. Bracket માં લખવું હોય તો લખી શકાય છે. Then preferential creditors also 21,500 in the working note 1. In the working note 1, 21,500 preferential creditors. Then debenture plus outstanding interest on debenture and additional interest on debentures. I think the total is 2,22,500 in the working note 5. In the working note 5, we write the debenture 2 lakh plus outstanding interest is 15,000, and additional interest is 7,500 for 3 months. Then unsecured creditors 53,500 in the working note 2. Then preference shareholder 2 lakh. Preference shareholder 2 lakh as per the direct liability side given. And the last point, equity share. Here you pay only for A equity share. A equity share you should pay 46 rupees, multiply number of 1,000 shares, so amount is 46,000, and then after the total will be same 5,70,000. Just you check it, the total 5,70,000. એક વખત પેમેન્ટ સાઇડનો ટોટલ કરી લ્યો, 5,70,000 આવશે. This question is illustration number 11, page number 241 in my book. Just you check it, the question is Survi Limited and the total of balance sheet is 8 lakh. Now you check it, the payment side is 5,70,000. It means both the side total will be same. Your answer is right. Clear? Here the method number 2 is a perfect complete. Okay, so remaining method is method number 3. We should start in our next lecture. Okay, thank you. And you calculate this method number 2 types of question in the examinations.